The Subcommittee on Commerce, Justice, Science, and Related Agencies will come to order. The hearing will consider the President's, I hope the hearing will consider the President's FY 2027 budget request for the Department of Justice. Last week, the Subcommittee reviewed the President's request for the Department's 4 law enforcement components, the FBI, the DEA, U.S. Marshals, and ATF and the, let me do that again, the FBI, U.S. Marshal Service, ATF, and DEA. That was a very good hearing, General, and I appreciate your allowing their presence here in advance of your appearance today. I appreciate the Department's participation as we work to complete our budget hearings and draft the FY 27 CJS bill. Attorney Blanche, I appreciate your support for law enforcement in the states, and I look forward to welcoming you to Kansas in the future. Overall, DOJ is requesting an increase of approximately $4.7 billion, or roughly 12 to 13% above FY 26 enacted levels. Much of that request reflects the reality that after several years of effectively flat funding, all while facing inflationary costs, many of the department's components were under significant strain. Last year, I worked with my colleagues. This committee worked together to maintain critical funding for both federal law enforcement agencies and the state and local departments that continue to serve as the backbone of public safety in communities across Kansas and the country. Attorney General, I saw the note in your written remarks about what a serious challenge FY 26 resources have been and will continue to be. I particularly understand the enormous strain that the Bureau of Prisons, the One Beautiful Bill Act provided $5 billion to BOP for both recruitment and retention of staff and to address severe maintenance backlog. Additionally, the department is requesting an increase of $2.2 billion, or 27% for BOP. I assume that this reflects serious ongoing resource challenges. At the same time, I have some concerns about cuts proposed to the department's 3 grant-making offices. The grants administered by these offices provide significant support for state and local law enforcement, juvenile delinquency prevention, support for victims, and the safety of our nation's police and deputy sheriffs. For example, this budget proposes a cut to youth mentoring programs. This would have a significant impact on those organizations that mentor and operate in Kansas and across the country. Veteran treatment courts have been a program that I've been particularly interested in. As I chair the Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs, I've worked closely with many in Kansas and across the country in regard to VTCs. The Violence Against Women program is facing a cut, which would have serious impacts on victims and the services provided to victims through organizations such as the Kansas Coalition Against Sexual and Domestic Violence. I agree the department requires additional resources to fulfill its mission and keep our communities safe. This is especially true for our federal law enforcement agencies, U.S. attorneys' offices, and the Bureau of Prisons. As this committee evaluates the department's request, we also have a responsibility to examine whether reductions to many of these community-based programs could ultimately place additional strains on law enforcement and local communities in the longer term. Attorney General, I look forward to learning more about the department's resource needs and your FY 27 request, and I would recognize Senator Van Hollen for his opening statement.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.